What's up, YouTube? It is Tyler back again with another video for a mail day. And guys, this is by far my biggest mail day that I've ever had. And the cards that I'm getting ready to go through, this is going to be the most expensive order that I've ever sent through the mail. I'm kind of antsy about this. But I'm recording this about a week after I sent it, so actually all of these cards arrived safely at PSA. But what we're looking at here is approximately a $33,000 mail day. That's the anticipated resale value once I get this back from PSA. And I don't say that to brag. I know in my $20,000 mail day order, I get a lot of comments saying that it sounds like it's bragging. And I don't mean to say that as if I'm bragging. I only put the dollar figure in there to really say that if you watch this channel from the very beginning, whenever I really started capturing what I send, you can see just how scalable this is. If you do a very similar method to what I'm doing, where you grade cards, you sell them, and then you invest that money into buying more, there's a very simple mathematical formula that allows you to just multiply this. So with this video, by far, this is my biggest PSA order to date. So I know I missed a couple Zion cards. I have a ton of Zion rookies. So red, white, and blue prism that you're looking at right now. I did separate these out into two different orders. So there's green prism, which is a very, very sharp card. I think the next one is an orange ice prism that's coming up. Actually, you may have already seen it, or maybe it's coming up here a little later. So I actually broke this order up. This is not all going to be sent as a bulk order, just because the price appreciation for these cards has increased so much recently that I had to break this out into a 15 card regular order, just so that I didn't get upcharged to death, but then also everything else in a bulk. But there is so many really good cards in this order. I mean, it is unbelievable what is in here. I mean, these cards right here that you're looking at here, this is the Donruss Choice or Donruss Infinite rookies. So if you're not familiar with these types of cards, this was the Asia exclusive or Asia Australia exclusive product that came out, and the Donruss, the Prism Panini Prism Choice rookies are unbelievably popular, as well as Donruss Optic Choice. So if you look at LUKA's Optic Choices, so I made sure to stash away a ton of those Infinite Choice rookies before they took off. But again, a ton of stuff in here. So orange Donruss Laser Zion rookie. I got those before they started taking off. Really, I got a lot of this stuff before it really blew up. Then I also got a free Donruss base card with one of the orders that I had. Man, just so much good stuff here. I don't even know how to describe it. So also have 3 of the Teal Explosion rookies. I think I picked those up for around 50 a piece. I think those are pushing closer to 100 now raw, maybe a little bit higher than that. Then also have a couple blues. So these blues are very, very difficult. And this is actually very timely, as there's a conversation going on at Blowout right now about the parallel colors for Giannis and those really taking off. So I'm trying to get in very, very early on Zion colors. That way they don't dry up, but I'm also getting gradable options to hopefully stash away. A lot of these cards, I've changed my philosophy. I am not selling 100% of these cards now. I'm trying to stash some of these away just because I hate being the guy who sells cards, and then a year later I see that the card has gone up in 10 to 20, 30 times the value, and it's exploded. And if I had just held on to it, I would have actually seen the positive value or the positive results. So I'm actually going to hang on to some of these, probably about the 1%. Sell 99%, but keep the 1% and continue growing my PC and my collection. Also have a couple Revolution Zions. That's the fractal parallel. Has the circular swooshes. That one, I believe, is the Astro parallel, and I think I have a couple of these Astros that are coming up. I believe that I've already pulled out in this video. You'll see this at the very tail end. All the cards that I'm sending off, the 15 cards that I'm sending off for the regular order, those have already been pulled out. But there's even stuff like this still in here, like this Superstar Cracked Ice Zion numbered to 25. Like, Man, I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I think I have 3 Zion cards in here, numbered to 25 or less, 4 numbered to 50 or less, 5 or 6 numbered to 100 or less. Really, really cool stuff in here for Zion. As soon as he started playing, I was like, oh gosh, I've got to get some rookies of him, because I was very, very young whenever LeBron came up, and I guess in high school, and I didn't have the money to get his rookies, or at least his high-end rookies, outside of just base cards. So now that I can actually get somebody who I think may not necessarily be LeBron, but maybe the next hobby superstar, I'm gonna start shelling out cash for it, because FOMO is hitting me hard. FOMO, POMO, all the above, all the OMOs are hitting me very, very hard right now. But so the video, I have it structured, all the Zion rookies are in the beginning, then you're going to start getting into some other players. I have a ton of Lamar Jackson stuff in here, a ton of Patrick Mahomes, a ton of LUKA DONCIC, and then obviously a lot of other things sort of sprinkled in. There's a couple prospects as well, just because Bowman drafted, and also Bowman's Best have released, but man, really, really riding this Zion hype train as long as I can, and he's also playing well, which is great. But LUKA DONCIC also, his Revolutions, I'm big. I love these cards. That is almost one of my favorite. It is my favorite set, I think, from a aesthetically pleasing standpoint. Unfortunately, it's not as popular as Prism or Optic or any of the other options, but Revolution is an amazing, amazing set. Also have this Hoops Silver Parallel. Then this is also a really, really cool card. So this is the Fast Break Optic. It's a little bit OC, so not really sure what that's going to grade like. But I did manage to get a couple optics, and again, I just released a video about this. Not sure how people are going to take it, but Gary V is pumping certain cards, and those 4 optics, they were around 150 as a PSA 10, and now they're around 300, like basically overnight. So, and that's the crazy thing about this market. Not only has it been upward trending, not only is it full of all this talent, but it also, again, has gasoline from Gary V, who is just pouring like gasoline on this massive fire, and it is just sort of exploding, which, I don't know, it's a perfect storm. I call it whatever you want, but it's a great time to be in the hobby right now. If you are in this to collect, if you're in this to flip, and if you're in this to do both, it is really a great time and exciting time to be in the hobby. And also a fan of basketball, fan of football, fan of baseball. I mean, there's so much youth and excitement. And I feel like we've been saying that probably for the past 10 years, at least with baseball. I remember all the way back in 2008, 2009, whenever we had the youth wave of Jason Hayward, Andrew McCutchen, all these guys coming, Steven Strasburg, then Bryce Harper, Mike Trout. I mean, all the way back whenever their rookie logo was actually coming out, all the excitement, and it hasn't changed. Like those people are now old, but now we still have youth. Like we're still talking about this youth wave in baseball, which is Ronald Acuna Jr., Juan Soto, Gleyber Torres. I mean, Aaron Judge now is old. Like nobody even cares about him, and he was a rookie in 2017. So it's a great time to be in the hobby. Great time to be a buyer, a seller of sports cards. And with basketball, specifically LUKA DONCIC. So, I mean, these 2 cards that you just saw from Upper Deck. So his very first license to EuroLeague card, but then his second year Upper Deck high gloss card. Really, really cool. Now we're going into Lamar Jackson cards. So this is one area, football. Football has not yet hit the social media fire wave. So I'm going to be very, very careful here. I don't want to make a lot of noise about this because, hint, hint, I believe that this is a great buy opportunity. That's all I'm going to say about it. So you all take the advice or not take the advice, but I've been buying a ton because I do think it's undervalued, and by the time I get it graded right by football season, there's going to be a lot of hype that comes with that. So always zig when others are zagging, and right now the zig while others zag is buying football. So buy football. That's all I'll say about it. Beautiful hollow from Lamar Jackson. that card I really debated putting in the regular order because I'm probably going to get upcharged. It's like a $500 card, PSA 10. This red yellow is a little bit off-centered. Again, I was extremely picky with these cards. So there's also been feedback. I got 2 kabooms here, and the population on that's actually really, really low. So there's been a lot of feedback about PSA. PSA is as backed up as they ever have been. And because of this backup, there's also feedback that their standards are becoming extremely more strict. And I don't think that's necessarily because of them being backed up. I think that's because of the scrutiny that has come with grading and the trimming scandals and all those types of things. But there is anecdotal feedback, then that anecdotal feedback is starting to actually gain a fairly large population of N of ones, so to speak. But there's a lot of people who are reporting that PSA standards are much higher than what they have been. So, I was very picky with these cards. I'm hopeful that I'll have positive grades. But I would not be surprised if I kind of get slammed with the grades just because of the way things have been going with PSA reportedly. Now, having said that, I'm doing this video here in March. I've sent this off. PSA received this order on March 4th. I'll be lucky if I get this back in July. If I get this back in July, I'm going to be a happy camper. If it comes back in August, that's probably when it's going to come back, to be perfectly honest, just because PSA is so behind. And that's kind of hurting my business model, but, it is what it is. Kind of got to play the game, and that's the game that has to be played right now. Got 2 Patrick Mahomes. I cannot say enough about Patrick Mahomes. This guy has been amazing for me for the past 16 months. Yeah, really glad I don't have a very big following, because anyone who probably would have been following could have been buying up everything that I've been buying up. And he has just been unbelievable in terms of a buy. And I think he's going to continue being an unbelievable buy just because he's the best player in football. He is the best quarterback. He has the best projection moving forward. In 2 years, he already has an MVP and a Super Bowl. Probably would have had another MVP had he not gotten hurt this year, although it would have probably been close. His numbers actually weren't as amazing from a touchdown perspective, but man, this guy's future, sky's the limit. So long as the NFL doesn't screw up this playoff schedule and he can actually be rewarded for getting a number 1 or number 2 seed, in his conference, over the next decade. I really think that he's going to add at least 1, maybe 2 or more Super Bowls to his resume, probably another couple MVP trophies. And this is the best bet for football moving forward, guys. With Tom Brady leaving, it's open reign on the NFL. So with that, Mahomes has a ton of cards. He really does. He has high end, he has low end, he has mid tier. He's got parallels, inserts, autographs. My strategy with Mahomes has been relatively consistent because, again, this is what I like to do. I like to buy and sell cards in terms of buying them raw, grading them, and flipping them. So there's only certain cards that I really like to key into just because, those cards have a certain ROI associated with them, but also I have a certain risk tolerance with knowing that these cards are going to grade what I expect them to grade. So, for the most part, shiny cards are the ones that I've been sticking to. Select, Prism, Optic, those types of sets, and even some of the low-end sets that really aren't as popular, but the card stock on them is fairly easy. Even these Mystique Illusions. Illusions is such a great card. This Black Friday parallel, I think this is numbered to 50. I didn't show you the serial number, but it's a Black Friday. I think it's a Black Friday rookie numbered to 50. These Rookies and Stars cards, man, big fan of these Rookies and Stars. Those are the base cards that I was talking about that have a pretty favorable card stock. So here, I actually have 5 of the regular base cards, but then I actually have the red parallels. So these are a little bit trickier, a little bit tougher to get. I think both of those do have a corner ding. So here I am talking about the card stock and how great it is, but the 2 reds actually do have bottom corner dings on the back if you look at them. So If one gets 10, I'll be happy. If not, you know, it is what it is. Knights Templar, had a ton of those. Night School, I have a ton of those getting graded right now. Also, not going to have a PSA order without Trout. Trout is my mainstay. Love Mike Trout. I just sold one of those 87 minis, you know, for over 200, I think, for as a PSA 10 in my last order that I just sold through Propstein. These Bowman's Best cards are picking up. They are going crazy. And again, I think the last couple PSA 10s of those I had sold for over 200 a piece, and you know, a year ago we're talking 120. So, man, this price appreciation in this market is unbelievable. Wander Franco Sapphire Blue. I actually got this card whenever it came out for like $20, and now I think it's like maybe 70, 80, just in a couple short months. Emerald Update Christian Yelich. He just signed a massive contract, and his cards just took off from that. Daniel Jones, he's starting to get a lot of hype in the offseason. Have a Silver Prism autograph and also a Silver Prism, which is actually extremely rare just because you don't get a lot of those Silver Prisms per box. Have a couple of the golds. I think 2 of those may have some edge issue or corner issues on the back, but pretty cool card. Then have this prospect. Man, I can't even say his name. I'm not going to butcher it, but it's out of the holiday box. Drew Lock Silver Prism. Paid a little bit too much for this. It was the first one to hit eBay, and I kind of got some antsiness about buying it. Trey Young Silver Select. That one's pretty sharp. Might come back a 9, but still pretty sharp. Also have a Trey Young Up and Coming, and man, have his cards taken off. Unbelievable prices that his cards are reaching right now. Walker Buehler Atomic. If you all remember, again, I graded one of these earlier in the spring, and it came back a PSA 10. LeBron SP Authentic Game Film. Pretty sharp card. I was hoping it was Giannis, but I already have one of those Giannis's at PSA currently. Louis Robert Bowman's Best. Probably front runner to be Rookie of the Year. Then also have a playoff ticket from Louis Robert numbered to 15. So it's actually the most rare parallel from that contender set outside of the championship 1 of 1. Then I also have 2 of his green refractors numbered to 99. So again, I'm a huge Louis Robert fan. Over around 30 homers last year, almost 30 or 40 stolen bases. Like this is the guy, man. He will likely be the guy to get this year, in my opinion. Once he comes up. Oh, what else do we have on here? This is going to be a cool card. So Derek Jeter Topps Chrome. This is not his rookie, but for some reason, a lot of people were clamoring to 96 set cards. And I actually got that from a guy in Kentucky. Again, I'm originally from Kentucky. So based on where this seller was from, I assume that they don't grade a lot. It probably was buried in a collection, and it actually looks very, very clean. So outside of a bunch of surface gunk that had probably accumulated over a while, I cleaned it off really well just with a microfiber cloth. And if that thing comes back at 10, it's going to be staying on my PC, because that would be a really cool thing to actually grade one of those and have it come back at 10. So again, I had a ton of Mahomes cards, ton of Lamar Jackson, ton of Zion, but we're not done yet. Going to, I believe, the final stack. Oh yeah, I got a lot of Jaws here. So John Morant Tribute, that's the silver parallel number to 199. Then I have a Great Expectations red parallel number to 99. Then a green laser from Donruss. I love those cards. Donruss is the most underrated set. It is such a nice card with the borders, with everything. Then also have an orange laser as well. Super sharp. Similar to Zion, I wanted to get some of these Infinite rookies. So I have 2 of the Infinite rookies. I think one of those is a little bit OC, so may not get the best grade. Also have a Tribute Teal Explosion. And also a yellow parallel from Tribute as well. Do have the Parallel Disco. That's the variation where he's doing the layup. But again, I do have some of the regular prisms as well. So Prism Red, White, and Blue. I have 2 of those, and both of those look like they had pretty solid centering. Also have an Arriving Now Gold Hollow. So love that card because I have 2 versions. I have a regular one, and then I have the Hollow Refractor version. Lottery ticket from John Morant. I have 5 of those. All those look clean. Honestly, those are Beckett 10 candidates, in my opinion. Shockwave from Revolution. Every set in Revolution looks good this year. Every single one, including this rookie Revolution and also the Liftoffs. Those are by far my favorites. I mean, those cards are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at that Liftoff. Just such a cool card. I mean, it reminds me of like 96, 97 Bowman's Best Die Cuts, or like the rookie set that they had that year. Next up, man, I have a ton of Giannis SP Authentic rookies. And as I speak right now, PSA 10s for this card are between 120 to 150 a piece. Picked up most of those raws in the 10 to 25 range. And again, the FX and the FX film. That's right. So I don't have one at PSA. The FX was actually in this order. The raw cards for those SP Authentics are now up to 50 a piece. I mean, everything Giannis is just blowing up. Like, it is absolutely crazy. Did have one last Zion in the bulk contenders. Got super lucky and got a Juan Soto rainbow foil. Again, this card hasn't taken off very much. Also have CJ Abrams purple refractor. This is the guy that I think is going to take off from draft. So at least wanted to get one of his autographs. Also got 2 of his Bowman Bests, and I think there's a blue refractor here also. So I think he's going to do really, really well this year. Then also Kawhi Leonard, Leaf Limited. Anthony Davis, whenever I bought this card, it was, so it's the Aspirations parallel. It's numbered, but I thought it was his rookie, but it was actually a second year, so I screwed up. But still like the card. It's kind of cool. Then I have a ton of stuff that I'm sending in for my buddy. He handed me a stack, and as you flip through there, you saw a Mike Trout update there. So really not too happy with that card being in this order. I just took them and took the quantity. But that card's going to be upcharged more than likely, and PSA has every right to upcharge me for that. So we'll see how that goes. Now we are into the regular order. So 15 cards. These were probably the bigger ones from the set. So Orange Ice, Zion. That one looks absolutely perfect. Did have one of the Infinite rookies that I wanted to send off just to get back very, very quickly, just to see how the market valued it as being first to market. Great Expectations Zion, numbered to 99. This is the red parallel. Really cool card. Love that card. Now I have a Zion pink laser. So this one's numbered to, is it 50, 49? Yeah, I believe it's 50. It's a little bit off-center top to bottom, but I think it's still within the gym tolerance. This one right here, guys. Oh, man. Please, PSA, don't ding me on top to bottom centering, because this card is unbelievable. It is in such great shape. Then also have a Hoops We Got Next Artist Proof Parallel, numbered to 25 from Zion. Again, beautiful card. That card should absolutely come back a PSA 10. Probably my favorite aesthetic card in the order is the Revolution Cosmic. I mean, look at how cool this card is, guys. It is unbelievable how Revolution is not any more popular than what it is. I mean, these are the modern day legacy collections, precious metal gems, in my opinion. Also have an absolutely perfect Lamar Jackson Optic Red. Nothing wrong with this card. No corner issues, no edge issues, and most importantly, no surface issues. Also have one more Patrick Mahomes holo, and this one was the best of the bunch, so I wanted to separate it from the other two, just so there wouldn't be any type of grading bias. And how about this, guys? Actually got a LUKA auto, finally. So I had a LUKA Prism auto and sold it, but now I got a Contenders autograph. Sure, it's from the up-and-coming set, but it's numbered to 99, and it looks absolutely flawless, so that one hopefully should be a 10. Then we have a Ja Great Expectations numbered to 10. I forget which parallel this is, but it's the parallel number 10. Beautiful, beautiful card. Then we also have a Ja Morant Orange Laser autograph. So again, that card looks almost spotless. Would have been a great pristine candidate. Now this card right here, I just got 2 of these Gem Mint back, and I sold them for around $270 to $300 a piece, which that went through Probstein and went incredibly low. But that card I want to get back very, very quickly, just in case I need to move it. Got, again, what looks like a flawless LUKA Green Prism. Really, really sharp. And then also, last but not least, a Patrick Mahomes autograph number 25 from Sage, which, looks great to me. The surface, I don't know how they're going to grade the surface because it looks, I can't tell if it's just how the surface is made or if it's just scratches. But, you know, the last part here are just cards that for one reason or another I did not grade because they were dinged. So all of those yellows actually came in like one of those snap-type boxes that allows the card to like jar around and damage the corner. So thank you, seller, for doing that and not sending them in penny sleeve top loaders like most good sellers would do. And then a bunch of these other ones just have surface issues or off-centered, or somebody slammed the corner against a countertop like you'll see on a couple of these. But it is what it is. Just not every card is going to be gradable, and that's not the expectation that people should have whenever they buy it raw off eBay. But I mean, even look at this Zion. I don't know if you could tell, but I mean the corner here it's just crinkled up. But guys, I'm telling you, this order, I hope that I get it back very, very soon. This is the most expensive order by far that I've ever submitted to PSA. I hope this trend continues for 2020 because it has been a very crazy, wild ride. And honestly, cards is one of the funnest things that I have going on right now. Just it's a fun time to be a collector and fun time to be a flipper, for sure. But definitely appreciate the video. As always, leave comments down below, like, subscribe, etc. Look out for my next giveaway. Don't have a lot of information on it right now, but we'll have one here coming up soon. Thanks.